why don't we do more pier and beam? Because I know, like in Texas, some are pier, the older ones pier and beam, and then there's slab. Then everybody like from north comes out. They're like, why has everybody got slabs?
The foundation, man, is probably the most detailed and the most important, right? Because you have individuals that can create a foundation plan that do not have to be licensed. So, example, the city of Dallas, right? The city of Dallas does not require a stamped engineer to submit for a permit. Other cities, they do, which means I have to have somebody that has a license to stamp it before I turn it in. In Dallas, you do not. So that means I could hire you, Tim. No knock to you. You may not have the experience to create me a foundation plan properly.
I'm just going to hire someone on Fiverr and just spit it out to you. Who cares?
Absolutely, right? We're going to have red and blue foundation lines and everything going through the paper. It's going to look cute, but it's not going to be structurally sound enough.
No one double-checked my work.
Absolutely. Nobody double-checked it. But if we go to pour that foundation, nobody is going to say that's wrong because they don't require it. So that's the first and foremost thing. Like, your foundation is probably the most important, but then you have your things like your mechanicals, which are also important. Like, once you get to the interior finishes, you have experience flipping, right? So once you get to where you're putting in floors, all of your cute stuff, right, then that's just a flip at that point. But the things that need to take place before you get there, that's where all the important stuff comes in.
So would you say, like, if I'm hearing correctly, the foundation, the plumbing, and the utilities, that the foundation of everything is the most important part?
Absolutely. 100%.
Because once you've got that, then like you said, it's just a flip.
Can't redo that one.
Hey, listen, man, you cannot. It's going to be real hard for you to pull up 80 yards of concrete,
right,
and rebar 24 inches below the ground.
Because the plumbing's coming
Absolutely.
with it, too.
Everything in the ground's coming with it. So it's going to be really hard, and it's going to be really expensive.
Why don't we do more pier and beam? Because I know, like in Texas, some are pier, the older ones pier and beam, and then there's slab. Then everybody like from north comes out. They're like, why has everybody got slabs?
Well, to answer that question in short, pier and beam can be just as expensive as slabs. So we have a house in the historic district in South Dallas on Havana Street. We have 48 piers that had to be poured, plus your exterior wall on that pier and beam house. Well, it cost us almost $25,000. That's just as expensive as if we would have poured a slab. But we had to because that was a requirement in historic district. Mm-hmm. So depending on the size of the house and how many piers you need, it could be just as expensive or even more expensive to do pier and beam.
Because people think it's just wood under the house, but now you got all this pressure treated lumber that the lengths right now are still hard to get.
Absolutely.
I mean, concrete's cheaper, man. They're making plenty of that.
Yep. So
make it down the street.
There's a lot for pier and beam. So you have to have your piers, then you have to have your beams that connect, sit on top of those piers. Then you have to have your subfloor. Well, that alone, our labor cost on subfloor is like $9,000. So, and we're talking just.
So it's all about economics.
Absolutely, it's all economics.
Because even though everybody in North Texas bitches and moans about how, if I don't water because I don't think people in the North realize you have to water your house.
Absolutely.
Water your house. What does that mean? And if you are watching this somewhere else, it's just because the ground. I don't know why y'all should be talking about this, not me.
No, you should.
But you have to water the ground because it gets
well versed, my guy.
I know, right? It dries up, and then when it dries up, you have voids, and then that's when cracks in the foundation.
Absolutely.
It's when you break your ankle too in the yard. Big old cracks and Sorry.
Yeah.
I coach Little League football.
Hey,
but so the economics of it, just like, because again, it's like, slab, you just put a little padding and put a little carpet, or put some wood floors on top of that, or put tile or whatever.
And so now they have post-tension cabling foundations. So
what's that?
So that's where instead of rebar inside the concrete as reinforcements, you have these strands of cabling that can be tensioned after the concrete is poured. So I like these better because if I need to do any repair, I don't have to dig under the foundation to repair it. I call the tensioning company, and they come back and they tighten the cables, and it compresses the foundation.
Sounds like you've built a house or two.
Couple.